Okay, let's be real. Does it ever feel like you're just shouting into the void every time you hit apply on LinkedIn? You spend all this time making your resume perfect, you send it off, and then crickets. It is so frustrating, right? And you're definitely not the only one feeling that way. But here's the thing. What if the problem isn't actually you? What if it's the strategy? Well, that's what we're going to dive into and fix right now.
All right, first things first, a little reality check. The competition out there, it's intense. Get this, over half, 53% of all applications on LinkedIn are being funneled into just 16% of the remote jobs. Think about that. So every time you click that easy apply button, you're not just throwing your hat in the ring. You're basically joining a massive digital stampede.
And career coach Teddy Burris really hit the nail on the head when he talked about this. He said, you all look the same, you act the same, you don't want to be that person. And that's exactly what happens in that stampede, right? When everybody's doing the exact same thing, everybody just blends into this sea of sameness. Recruiters are scrolling through hundreds of profiles that all look and sound totally identical. Our mission here is to make sure you break that pattern.
So I want to be super clear about this. The problem isn't your skills. It's not your experience. It's the strategy. It's this passive approach of just dropping your resume into a system and crossing your fingers. It's time for a major shift, a whole new way of thinking about how we use LinkedIn to actually land a job.
We're going to flip the script. We're going to take you from being that passive applicant who's just hoping to get noticed to an active networker who actually creates their own opportunities. And we're going to do it with a really straightforward 3-part playbook. The goal? To turn your LinkedIn from a dusty old resume into a full-on job offer machine.
Okay, let's kick things off with part 1, optimizing your digital handshake. Think about it. Before you even dream of reaching out to anyone, your profile has to do all the heavy lifting for you. It's that critical first impression, and we have got to make it count.
First up, and this is a big one, your headline. Just look at the difference here. On the one hand, you have these weak headlines like college student or looking for new opportunities. They're all about what you are or what you want. But then look at the strong ones. They're active. They scream value, helping local businesses grow, or results-driven marketing professional. See the difference? You're not just stating a title, you're positioning yourself as the solution to someone's problem. That's the key.
All right, next let's talk about that About section. You've got to remember, most people are only going to see the first 2 lines before they have to click See More. So those first 2 lines have to be an absolute hook. Don't just list your experience like you're writing a boring resume summary. You need to tell a story. Look at the compelling one. I've helped SaaS companies reduce churn. It states a clear result, and then, bam, it started when. That little phrase opens up a story. It creates curiosity. And that's what makes a busy recruiter actually want to click and find out what happens next.
And hey, here are 3 super quick wins you can literally go and do right after you watch this. First, customize your URL. Get rid of that long string of numbers. It's a tiny detail, but it just looks so much more professional. Second, use that featured section. It's basically free real estate for your personal portfolio. Pin your best work there. And third, put numbers on everything. Quantify your achievements. Did sales means nothing? Closed over $200,000 in sales deals? Now that is a powerful statement.
All right, on to part 2, build your personal brand. So we've built a fantastic foundation with your profile. But a house isn't really a home until somebody lives in it, right? It's time to stop lurking in the background and start actually participating. We're moving from just consuming content to actively engaging with it.
Now, the absolute key to doing this well is focus. You can't be an expert on, everything. And that's where this idea of content pillars comes in. Just think of them as the 2 or 3 main topics that you want to be known for. When you post about these things consistently, you're sending a super clear signal to both the people in your network and the LinkedIn algorithm, telling them, hey, this is what I'm all about.
So what does that actually look like? Well, if you're an entrepreneur, maybe your pillars are things like showing the behind the scenes of building your business or the mistakes you've learned from. For a professional, maybe it's analyzing trends in your industry. The goal here is just consistency. You pick your lanes and you stay in them. That's how you build real authority and start attracting the people you want to notice you. Okay, so you've got your topics, but how should you post them? Well, it really helps to understand what the LinkedIn algorithm likes. And what it likes is stuff that keeps people on LinkedIn. It's that simple. That's why posts that have a link sending people to an outside website get almost no love. But things like native videos or those slide deck carousels, they get a huge boost because you can watch or read them right there in the feed. So the big takeaway is create content for the platform, not just on it.
And that brings us to part 3. And honestly, this is the real game changer. You've got your profile looking amazing. You've started building your brand. Now it's time to use all that hard work to connect directly with the right people and totally bypass that application black hole for good.
This right here is probably the single most important mindset shift you need to make. Stop, just stop thinking about applying through the front door. The real goal, the only goal, should be getting a referral from somebody who's already on the inside. You want a warm introduction. You want someone to literally walk your resume over to the hiring manager.
And why is this so insanely effective? Well, the numbers don't lie. Check this out. Employee referrals? They only make up about 7% of all the applicants for a job, but they account for a whopping 40% of all hires. That is just staggering. This isn't just a little leg up. It's like a secret shortcut that takes you right to the front of the line.
Okay, so the big question is, how do you actually get that referral? This playbook lays it out step by step. First, you find a job you're interested in. But, and this is key, you don't apply yet. Instead, you go find someone who already works there. A connection, an alum, anyone. You do a little bit of homework on them, find some common ground, and then you send a personalized message to start a genuine conversation. Remember, this isn't a transaction. It's about building a relationship first.
And here's a perfect example of what that first message can look like. Notice it's not, hey, can you get me a job, or please look at my resume. No, it's, hey, I saw you're also into this thing that I'm into. It's specific, it's genuine, and crucially, it's not asking for a favor. It's just asking to connect. This is how you start a real conversation that might just lead to an incredible opportunity later on.
So let's just step back and look at the huge transformation we've just covered. It's a total mindset shift, right? You're moving from being passive to being active. Your profile is no longer just a static, backward-looking resume. It's now an aspirational, forward-looking portfolio. You're not just mindlessly clicking easy apply anymore. Instead, you're strategically building a contact database. You're not just consuming content, you're creating it. You're not just hoping to be noticed, you are the one starting the conversations.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this. Your profile, that's your digital handshake, but your network, that is where the opportunity lives. The most important question isn't just what job do I want, it's who do I need to talk to? So my question for you is, who are you going to have a real